right, so let's try a new run. So we're going to come back to the front here and click New Run. Now, since we're running in a container, we can use this auto-generated path if we want, or we can change it. Just to note that if we change it to something that like doesn't exist, hopefully it gives us an error. So we'll just call this workspaces / test run 1 and task description. So let's write, let's train an image classifier on MNIST. So give it a pretty easy target for the first run. Dataset path, if we leave this blank, it'll download the data for MNIST. This is a Greenfield. We could do existing, but this is a Greenfield run because there's, it's MNIST. So accuracy, higher is better. Existing environment, we'll leave that empty, and we'll click set up workspace. So this is going to set up a virtual environment for us. And we can start the run. Okay, so now we can see that we're actually running, and it runs immediately. So we could just look at the console here. Okay, now we can see we're in something called data analysis. And so this is basically an EDA, exploratory data analysis. And we can actually see what's going on here. Is we can see all these tool calls from the data analysis agent. And, you are an elite ML engineer doing EDA. The user is giving you a task and a data set. So what's going through here is actually trying to figure out exactly what's with the data. So in this case, it's MNIST, and it's doing a data analysis. The first part of the data analysis is to download the data. And once that's done, then it goes to this critic, which says, hey, did you find the data? Did you analyze it properly? Now, under the LLM, we can see we're in baseline mode here, and you can see that we're doing a bunch of tool calls. So here, the prompt is you're an ML engineer building the initial baseline for a project. So that's why this is called baseline, is because this is the first time that we're writing the code. So we're going to just create a baseline implementation, and then we're going to train it, we're going to test it, and if it meets our accuracy, great. If not, we're going to go into this hill climbing loop, where this is Karpathy's auto research loop that's embedded in this harness here. So, but the first call is just to the baseline implementation. Right, now we go into training. So if we click on training here, once the training logs start showing up here, we'll start to see some graphs that are going to be written in this area here, and then we can kind of watch the training progress. Oh, and there we have an error, so let's see what happens if it's going to recover from this error or not. This will be a good test, actually. You can see our cost counter as well. So far, we've spent a penny on this run, so this is generally pretty cost effective. If you get tired of looking at dark mode, you can click this button, and it'll switch it to light mode for those people that like. But I prefer dark mode. Okay, so this time it got kicked back to baseline because basically the code didn't work. So it tried to do training, ran an error, and analyzed that. It says, oh, okay, we got an error. We got to kick it all the way back to coding. So that's the retry loop in action. Here we can see that error that we saw too. So we also saw that on the console, but this error is also captured in the event log. Some various log messages that are going by. Now the agent's writing tests. Okay, looks like we passed all the tests, so that's good. Back into training again. I think that's the old error. So, okay, there we go. Yep, we're starting to see the graph show up there. As it goes through the different epochs, we'll be able to see the performance. Go back to the front here, we can see that the current run is showing up on the top there. So you can see our cost is still pretty low. Training, still training, so we'll come back in a minute. Now it passed training this time, so I didn't find any issues there. And now it's running evaluate. So with the evaluate, it's running, on the test, on the hold output. So what it does there is it takes the best model checkpoint, and then we'll install them, like refresh the model from the checkpoint, and then it will and it'll run on the holdout test split there. So this will give us the accuracy of the model. Now it's going to find those results from evaluation. You can see it's doing a bunch of finder tool calls to find the results, and once that's done, it will send it to the critic. There we go, and the run is completed. So we can look at the report, and we achieved 0.99 accuracy, so that was higher than our target. So we only took one step, only one experiment, 12 minutes total elapsed. LLM cost was 2 cents, and we can kind of see the different baselines there, but there's only really one baseline. All right, and then look under research, we can see that we've got an entry there, and then also in the git log you can see that we've got an entry there as well. So you can see that we have the initial workspace set up, and then a baseline and add research log. Okay, so let's go check this out. So workspaces / test run 1. All right. Oh, I see. There we go. Okay, so I go into test run 1, and here's all the code that it actually wrote. So we can look at the research log, which is not very, but we can do also a git status in here and git log. We can see that everything gets logged to Git. So yeah, so that is a tour of the MLE-Beast. Hope you enjoyed it. Please try it out, and I'd love to hear your feedback about it.